I just came back from the worst day of school ever. I laid on my bed thinking about what had happened today. First, I forgot his lunch. Then I got a C on my math test. And then I got my money stolen from the school bully. I'm Leo Perez. Light brown hair and orange eyes. And I always get picked on at school, but that was the first time I lost money. Leo, come down for dinner, my mom called. I sighed and went downstairs. After I ate and got ready for bed, when I bed, but I couldn't sleep, so I just laid in bed trying to fall asleep. But after 30 minutes, I heard something in my closet. I got up and walked to my closet and put my hand on the door. Stop something told me anything could be in there, but something else told me to open the door, so I opened the door. When I opened it, I saw a blue yo-yo floating, which was so weird that I thought I fell asleep without knowing. And I was dreaming. The yo-yo was not on anything. It was just in mid-air. This is when my intrusive thoughts came into play because I reached my hand out and touched it. As soon as my fingertips touched it, I was sucked in. I was transported to a room made of gold, and it had a lot of doors. I opened a door and stepped into a room where there was a bunch of glass statues, dogs and humans. So I went through it and went outside. I found out that the whole world, people and all, were made of glass. I looked down at my hands and gasped when I saw them. I had turned into glass. This is so weird, I thought, but also very cool. I explored this strange world for a little bit, seeing so many glass animals. 4 bluebirds on a tree, 4 beautiful deer in forest, 5 little otters in the river. After I explored the glass forest for a little bit, I realized that didn't know where I was. No problem, I thought I'll just retrace my steps. I took some steps the way I came, but that just made me more lost. But then I found an arrow on the ground, made of sticks. It pointed west. Since I had no other hope of getting back to the gold room, I followed it. I went in the direction the arrow pointed for a little bit, until I came to a clearing in the middle of the forest. And in the middle of the clearing was the blue yo-yo I found in my closet. I touched it again, and it sucked me in. I found myself in the gold room again. But with all the doors, I didn't know which one led to my room. Luckily, I picked the right door on the first try. I went back to bed, and I fell asleep before my head hit the pillow. The next morning, I kept thinking about the gold room. For the rest of the day, all I could think about was the gold room and the glass world. When I went to bed that night, I immediately went to my closest and found the same blue yo-yo floating. I was about to touch it when I remembered that I had no way of remembering which door led to my room. So I got a box, and when I went into the gold room, I put the box next to the door. Then I went into a random door. When I went in, I was sent to a park. This world looked like it was drawn by a 6-year-old who couldn't stay inside the lines. I looked down at my hands, and I saw that they were messily drawn. I started to explore the world. I started walking along the coast. As I walked, the sun beat down on me. It was so hot, and the water looked so nice. I tried so hard not to run into the water, but I did. I stared to swim deeper into the drawn ocean. The water felt so nice. I went underwater. I saw fish and a turtle. I kept swimming and saw fins in the water. I started to panic because I thought it was a shiver of sharks, which is a group of sharks, but it was only a pod dolphins. I started to swim with them, and it was fun. I reached out to touch them. They went right to my hand. I was so surprised, but I kept my hand still. Then I saw another fin in the water, and at first I thought it was another dolphin. But then I looked underneath the water. I saw a shark swimming towards me and started to freak out. But then the dolphins got in front of me and blocked the shark from getting to me. Then suddenly the dolphins attacked the shark and smashed into his gills. They fought for a bit until the shark decided it couldn't win the fight and swam off. I was so shocked that the dolphins protected me from that shark, and I decided that I had enough of the water. So I swam back to the sandy shore and found another stick arrow pointing to the north. I followed it, and I found the blue yo-yo sitting on a bench. I looked around to make sure nobody would see me. Then I touched the yo-yo. When I got to the gold room, I found the box next to the door. I was glad that I put the box there, otherwise I would not have known what door led to my world. I went back through my door and fell asleep.